Welcome to English Vision, the podcast, where we explore real English, real thinking, and real communication. I'm your host, Sofia, and today we're talking about something every English learner dreams of: how to think fast and speak smart. Have you ever felt stuck when someone asks you a question in English? Your brain freezes, your tongue feels heavy, and by the time you think of the perfect answer, the moment is gone. Yes, we've all been there. It's not just about words, it's about how you think. Because fluency is not only about speaking English fast, it's about thinking in English fast. And that's exactly what we'll explore today: how to train your mind to think faster, respond smarter, and sound more natural when you speak English. So, get comfortable, grab your tea or coffee, and stay with me till the end. Because by the end of this episode, you'll understand exactly how to shift your brain into English mode. Let's start with a simple truth: you can't speak fast if you think slow. And most English learners think in their native language first. They translate, then speak. But translation takes time. It's like using a long road when a shortcut is available. So, how do we fix this? We train your brain to skip translation. We teach it to think directly in English. Think about this: when a native speaker hears, "How's it going?" they don't stop to translate it into their language. They respond automatically, like, "Pretty good," or "Not bad, thanks." That's automatic thinking. That's the key to fluency. So, the first step is expose your brain to real English, not textbook English, but everyday conversation. Listen to podcasts, watch interviews, listen to how people respond, and notice the patterns. For example, when someone says, "What do you do?" you don't need a long answer. You can say, "I'm a student," or "I work in marketing." Keep it short, keep it natural. When you practice listening to real life English, your brain begins to recognize rhythm, tone, and structure. And when it recognizes it, it starts to copy it. That's how you start thinking in English. But that's just the beginning, because the real magic happens when you start shadowing. Yes, shadowing. It's one of the most powerful methods to think and speak faster. You listen to a short clip and repeat what you hear, exactly how you hear it. It trains your mouth, your ears, and your brain to work together in real time. So from today, don't just listen passively, listen actively, repeat, copy, and feel how your thinking speed increases. Because fluency is not built by speaking fast, it's built by thinking smart. Now, let's talk about something important: your reaction time. When someone speaks to you in English, your brain needs to catch the meaning, understand it, and respond all within seconds. That's a lot happening at once. So, how do fluent speakers do it so easily? They've trained their minds to predict patterns. Yes, language is full of patterns. When someone says, "How are you?" you already know a few ways to respond. "I'm good." "I'm doing great." "Not too bad." You don't stop to think, you just respond. That's what we call automatic speaking. And the more you repeat these small, simple sentences, the faster your brain connects thought to speech. So, here's a great exercise for you. Every day, choose one simple topic, like my morning, my work, or my weekend. Then talk about it in English for 1 minute without stopping. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about grammar. Just keep speaking. Because the goal is not perfection. The goal is speed of thought. When you practice this daily, your mind begins to organize English sentences automatically. You stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Imagine this: you're talking to a friend, and instead of hesitating, you just speak naturally. Your ideas come out smoothly, your sentences sound real, and your confidence grows. That's what fluent thinking feels like. It's freedom. Now, let's talk about another key: smart speaking. Thinking fast is one thing, but speaking smart means knowing what to say and how to say it. Fluency isn't about using difficult words, it's about using simple words beautifully. Native speakers don't always use big vocabulary, they use clear, natural, friendly language. Instead of saying, I am extremely exhausted today, they simply say, I'm so tired today. Instead of, I am feeling enthusiastic about the upcoming weekend, they say, I'm excited for the weekend. See the difference? It's not about how fancy your words are, it's about how clear your message is. So, if you want to sound smart in English, focus on clarity, tone, and emotion, because emotion makes language powerful. When you sound real, people connect with you. And remember, thinking fast doesn't mean speaking without pauses. Even native speakers pause. They breathe, they think, they use silence smartly. Pausing is part of good communication. So don't rush your words. Instead, focus on your flow. Slow down when needed. Speed up when excited. And let your tone rise and fall naturally. That's how you sound fluent, confident, and smart. Now, let's talk about how you can train your brain to think faster in English, because thinking fast is not about magic, it's about mental training. Your brain is like a muscle. If you train it every day, it gets stronger, faster, and sharper. So here's a powerful daily exercise I call Think in English Moments. Throughout your day, choose small moments to describe what you see, what you do, or what you feel in English. For example, you're making breakfast. In your mind, say, I'm making toast. I'm pouring coffee. It smells good. Simple sentences, but powerful training. You're walking outside. You can think, the weather feels nice. I see a blue sky. People look busy today. These small thoughts help your brain connect daily life to English. No translation, no stress. This method makes English a part of your everyday world. You stop treating English as a school subject and start living it as a language of life. Because fluency happens when English becomes your thinking language. Let's make it more fun. You can even play a small game. Whenever you catch yourself thinking in your native language, pause and try to say that same thought in English. At first, it might be slow, you'll struggle, you'll forget words. That's okay, because every time you do it, you're building a new habit. And one day, you'll realize you didn't translate anymore. You just thought in English. That's the moment everything changes. You start reacting faster, speaking smoother, and expressing ideas without delay. That's when English becomes your second nature. Now, let's talk about confidence. Because even if your brain works fast, you can't speak smart if you don't believe in yourself. Confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly, it comes from trusting your voice. So here's the secret: fluency starts with accepting your accent, your mistakes, and your style. Don't compare your English to anyone else's. Everyone's voice is different, and that's what makes communication beautiful. Your goal is not to sound like a native, your goal is to sound like your best English self. The world doesn't need perfect English, the world needs real English, spoken with heart and confidence. So when you speak, stand tall, smile, and speak with energy. Even if your words are simple, your confidence makes them powerful. Because communication is not about grammar, it's about connection. When people feel your energy, they remember you, they trust you, they want to talk to you again. And that's what real fluency is, not just speed, but connection. Now, let's go deeper. You've learned how to train your brain, how to build confidence, but what happens when you actually talk to people? Sometimes you know the words, but the conversation doesn't flow. You pause too long, you forget what to say next, and suddenly you feel nervous. That's normal, because speaking isn't just about language, it's about structure. You need a simple structure in your mind, so when someone talks to you, you know how to respond naturally. Here's a great three-step formula I love to teach. Listen, think, respond. Let's break it down. Step 1. Listen carefully. Most people rush to answer before they fully understand. But good communication starts with listening. When you really listen, your brain gets time to think. You catch the meaning, not just the words. Step 2. Think briefly. Don't panic if you need a second. Even native speakers take short pauses. A small pause shows you're thoughtful, not slow. And step 3. Respond naturally. Keep your answer short, clear, and relevant. You don't need long speeches. Sometimes the smartest response is the simplest one. For example, if someone says, "How was your weekend?" you can say, "It was great. I met some friends." Or, "It was quiet. I stayed home and watched a movie." That's it. You've answered naturally, clearly, and with confidence. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful: emotional intelligence in speaking. Because smart communication isn't just about words, it's about feelings. When you speak English, your tone, your facial expression, and your energy, they all send a message. You can say the same sentence in two different ways, and it can mean two completely different things. For example, if you say "I'm fine," it sounds cold, uninterested. But if you say "I'm fine," it sounds positive, friendly, and open. See, that's emotional communication. So, practice using your voice like an instrument. Change your tone, your rhythm, and your energy. That's how you sound alive in English. Now, let's add a simple training you can do every day. Record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Pick any topic, your morning, your plans, your favorite movie, then listen to your recording. Don't judge yourself, just notice. Do you sound confident? Do you pause too long? Does your tone sound friendly or flat? Then try again the next day. Make small improvements. This is how professionals train their voice and mind together. You become aware of how you sound, and that awareness makes you grow. Remember, confidence is built one conversation at a time. Now, let's talk about one of the hardest moments for every English learner: when you need to speak under pressure. You know those situations when someone asks you a question suddenly and your mind just goes blank. You know what you want to say, but your brain freezes, your heart races, and your confidence drops. It's okay. That happens because your brain isn't trained to respond fast in real time. So let's fix that together. Here's a great exercise. I call it the quick response game. Find a list of simple, everyday questions. Questions like: what did you eat for breakfast? Where do you want to travel? What's your favorite movie? What did you do yesterday? Now, set a timer for 5 seconds. When you read each question, you must answer within 5 seconds. No overthinking, no planning, just answer. It might sound simple, but this exercise trains your reflex thinking. You teach your brain to react, not just translate, and guess what? The more you do it, the faster your brain becomes. You start forming English thoughts instantly. It's just like building muscle memory. When you play piano, you don't think about every note, your fingers just know where to go. The same happens with English. When you train your response time, you stop thinking about grammar and start focusing on communication. Here's another great trick. Try the describe what you see challenge. Look around your room and describe everything in English. For example, there's a chair next to the window. My phone is on the table. I see a cup of tea. This simple habit pushes your brain to think in English right now, not later. And when you practice this every day, your speaking becomes smoother, your confidence stronger, and your hesitation disappears. Now let's talk about something important: how to stay calm while speaking English. Because even when your thinking is fast, if your nerves take control, your words won't come out. So here's what to do. Before you speak, take one slow breath, smile, and remind yourself this is just a conversation, not an exam. That one small thought changes everything, because confidence is a mental state. When you relax your mind, your language flows naturally. Don't try to be perfect, be present. Focus on connection, not correction. Every fluent speaker you admire once felt exactly like you do. They also paused. They also forgot words. They also made mistakes. But they kept going, and that's why they became fluent. So don't stop. Keep practicing, keep speaking, keep training your thoughts to move in English. Because one day soon, you'll surprise yourself when English starts flowing out effortlessly. Every conversation you have in English is a chance to grow. Each small talk, each question, each answer, they all train your mind to react faster and smarter. The secret is to stay curious. Curiosity opens your brain, and when you're curious, you listen better, you think quicker, and your words become more natural. Imagine you're in a group conversation. People are speaking quickly, ideas are flying around, and you're trying to keep up. It feels like a race, but fluency isn't about racing, it's about rhythm. Don't chase every word. Focus on the main idea. Catch the feeling of the conversation, not every sentence. When you understand the feeling, your response becomes authentic. A great technique for group talks is shadow participation. When others speak, move your lips silently. Repeat some words in your mind. Feel the rhythm of their sentences. It's like dancing with language. You stay in the flow without interrupting, and your mind learns how to react faster. Another habit to master is paraphrasing. When you don't know how to say something, rephrase it. Instead of stopping completely, find another way. If you forget the word exhausted, say really tired. If you can't remember enormous, say very big. Your message is more important than the vocabulary. This skill keeps your conversation alive even when your mind forgets a word. Let's talk about emotional moments. Sometimes you want to express strong feelings happiness, sadness, excitement, or anger, but you freeze because you don't know the exact words. In those moments, simplify your emotion. If you're happy, say, that makes me really happy. If you're sad, say, I feel down today. If you're angry, say, I'm upset about that. Simple doesn't mean weak. Simple means clear, honest, and real. Great communicators aren't the ones who use fancy words, they're the ones who speak with heart. When you speak from emotion, your English becomes powerful because people feel your truth. Let's build one more mental habit quick idea connection. When you hear a question, connect it immediately with something personal. If someone says, what do you do in your free time? Think of one memory instantly reading, walking, cooking, anything. Then speak from that memory. Real memories create real emotion, and that makes your response sound natural. The more you link English to your own life, the faster your ideas appear. That's how you stop memorizing and start expressing. Every fluent speaker practices this unconsciously. Their thoughts and words are connected by emotion, not translation. It's the same for you. Each sentence you speak with feeling becomes easier to remember next time. That's why practice should always feel personal. Talk about your day, your dreams, your worries, your stories. Make English your emotional language. Fluency is not built in silence, it's built through stories. Every story you tell in English adds another layer to your confidence. It reminds you that you can express anything with the words you already have. Keep that rhythm, that energy, that belief. Your thoughts in English are becoming faster every single day. Consistency creates transformation. You can listen to 100 lessons, but what truly changes your English is what you do every single day. Think of fluency as small drops of water. Every drop seems tiny, but together they fill an ocean. Your daily effort builds that ocean of confidence. Start your morning with English. Before checking your phone, listen to one short English audio. It could be a quote, a short story, or even this podcast. Let English be the first sound that enters your mind. During the day, use English in small ways. Read signs in English, write your to do list in English, or speak short sentences to yourself. At night, review your day in English. Just talk to yourself. I woke up early. I worked hard today. I learned something new. This is simple self conversation practice. And here's a secret habit successful learners use. They combine listening, thinking, and speaking every day. When you listen, your brain collects input. When you think, your mind organizes it. When you speak, you release it. Long break, close, and the autumn did. That complete cycle creates true fluency. It's okay if you make mistakes. Mistakes are proof that your brain is active, not asleep. Every error you make teaches you something new. So instead of feeling embarrassed, feel proud. You're learning in real time. Make English part of your identity. Not just something you study, but something you live. When you think, dream, and express in English, you stop being a learner, you become a communicator. To strengthen that identity, surround yourself with English energy. Change your phone settings to English, follow English speaking creators, and listen to English music. But remember, don't just listen, imitate. Copy the rhythm, the pronunciation, the tone. Your mouth learns patterns by repetition, and your brain learns comfort by familiarity. Each time you repeat a phrase, you're building neural connections. You're teaching your brain, this is easy for me, and soon it will be easy. There will come a day when you join a conversation and realize you didn't translate, you didn't overthink, you just spoke, and everyone understood you. That's the power of daily habits. They turn effort into instinct. You don't need motivation every day, you need routine. Motivation is the spark, routine is the fire. Keep it burning. Stay consistent even on slow days, because every small effort counts, and your English journey is already in motion. You are not just learning English. You are learning how to express yourself in a new world. A new world of words, of emotions, of possibilities. And in that world, you deserve to be confident. You deserve to be heard. Every time you speak, you share a part of your story, and your story matters. So don't wait for perfect grammar. Don't wait for the right accent. Don't wait for someone to tell you you're ready. You are ready now. Because fluency doesn't start when you speak perfectly, it starts when you speak bravely. Each sentence you try, each word you whisper, each moment you think in English, that's a victory. You're training your mind to respond faster, to connect thoughts without translation, to feel at home in English. Remember, thinking fast doesn't mean speaking fast. It means thinking clearly and choosing words naturally. Sometimes, the most fluent speakers are not the fastest ones, but the calmest. They take their time, they pause, they breathe, and that makes every sentence powerful. So next time you speak, don't rush. Take a small pause. Let your words flow from clarity, not pressure. That's how you sound smart, not by using big words, but by speaking with confidence and calm. Here's a little practice for you. Something you can do right after this episode ends. Find a quiet moment, close your eyes, and think of one idea you'd like to say in English. Maybe it's something like, I believe I'm improving every day. Now say it out loud. Say it again, slower this time. And listen to yourself. That's how fluency grows, through small, mindful repetitions. And the more you do this, the stronger your English voice becomes. You'll start to think in English. You'll start to respond naturally. And one day, you'll look back and realize you've become fluent without even noticing when it happened. That's the beauty of learning. It's quiet, it's invisible, but it's always growing inside you. So stay patient, stay kind to yourself, and keep listening to your English voice. Because every day you practice, you're not just learning a language, you're building a new version of yourself, a version that can speak, connect, and dream without limits. And remember, this is your space to grow. Your voice matters here, and your journey is just beginning. Thank you for being part of English Vision, the podcast. Your growth inspires every word we share. Keep practicing, keep believing, and keep shining through your English voice. I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll explore another simple, beautiful way to master your English thinking and speaking. Until then, speak slow, think smart, and stay confident. This is Sofia from English Vision, the podcast, reminding you that your English story is already amazing. See you soon. And remember, you are one conversation away from confidence.